Have you ever said something as a joke and later realized you basically handed someone permission? Because I did. 2 years ago, I made one harmless joke, something I thought was sweet, even funny. And that joke gave my best friend the confidence to act like my husband was hers. My name is Rachel. I'm 35. I've been married to my husband Daniel for 4 years. And what I'm about to tell you isn't a story about jealousy. It's a story about watching someone erase boundaries, slowly, smiling, while I stood right there. It started with a sentence I used all the time: our husband. Daniel and I met through mutual friends almost 9 years ago. We were friends for 6 years before we ever dated. So when I say I knew him before I married him, I mean it. Daniel is the kind of man who shows up, not in a dramatic movie way, in a real life way. If someone's car battery dies, he jumps it. If a neighbor needs help moving something heavy, he's there. If a friend is stressed, he's the guy who tries to fix the problem. Sometimes it drives me insane because he can't just relax. He sees a problem and automatically becomes the solution. And for years, my friends loved him for it. Most of my friend group was single. I didn't want them to feel alone. I didn't want them to feel like they didn't have support. So I started joking. If someone needed help, I'd laugh and say, "Don't worry, our husband will handle it." I meant it like, we're a community. You're safe. We help each other. At the time, it felt generous. I didn't understand something basic back then. There's a difference between sharing kindness and handing someone a key. 2 years ago, I became close with a woman from work named Vanessa. She was 45, divorced, sharp, funny, one of those people who can make you laugh even when your day has been awful. She had 2 kids, both teenagers. Vanessa and I clicked fast. She felt safe, like someone who had seen life and could handle real conversations. Then she met Daniel. The first time she came over, she walked into my home like she belonged there. Not rude, not loud, comfortable. She laughed at his jokes a little too long. She touched his arm when she talked, like it was natural, and she complimented him in this slightly dramatic way. "Rachel," she said, "your husband is a gem." I smiled, because who doesn't like hearing that? Daniel smiled too, because Daniel is polite. I told myself it was normal. Then the joke became a pattern. Vanessa needed help moving a dresser. I said, "Our husband can help." Daniel did. She needed a TV mounted. I said it again. Daniel did. She needed something fixed. I said it again. Daniel did. And soon Vanessa started saying it too. Not just around me, around other people. We were at a small get-together, and someone asked how she got her shelves installed so fast. Vanessa smiled and said, "Oh, our husband did it." She said it like she was proud. People laughed, and I laughed too, because I didn't want to be the one who looked uncomfortable over a joke I helped create. That's how it starts. You ignore the first moment your body says, "That felt weird," because you don't want to be dramatic, you don't want to be insecure, you don't want to be that woman. And that's exactly what people like Vanessa rely on. The first time I felt real discomfort didn't even come from Vanessa. It came from her son. We were all together, and Daniel drove because Vanessa claimed her car was acting weird. Her teenage son leaned forward and said, "So, Daniel, are you like my mom's boyfriend now?" Daniel laughed awkwardly. "No, man." Vanessa laughed too quickly. "Oh my God, stop." But she didn't sound embarrassed. She sounded amused. Teenagers don't invent that out of thin air. They repeat the story they've been hearing at home. And the story was, Daniel belongs here, not as my husband, as her mother's access. After that, the lines blurred faster. Vanessa started popping up last minute. "Hey, I'm nearby. Can I swing by?" And because I still thought of her as my best friend, I said yes. One day I came home from work and Vanessa was sitting at my kitchen island sipping tea. Daniel was in the living room laughing with her. I froze in the doorway. Not because I thought something romantic was happening, because I hadn't invited her and nobody told me she was coming. I asked, "Hey, how did you get in?" Vanessa smiled like I'd asked something silly. "Oh, Daniel let you in. I was nearby." Daniel looked at me like, "What? She's your friend." And I forced a smile because it felt too small to start a fight over. But that's the trap. It's never one big violation. It's 100 small ones you keep swallowing. And every time you swallow, the next one gets easier for them. Then came the party. We hosted a small dinner, nothing fancy, just friends, food, laughter. At one point, Daniel and I had a tiny disagreement in the kitchen. Hosting stress, nothing serious. Later, I noticed Vanessa and Daniel outside cleaning up. I thought, okay, people vent, married people vent. So I opened the back door. And the second I did, their conversation stopped. Not gradually, not naturally. It stopped like I walked in on something that wasn't meant for me. Vanessa's eyes went wide. Daniel straightened. Vanessa smiled too bright and said, "Oh, we were just talking." Daniel said, "Yeah, just cleaning." I nodded, but my stomach tightened. Because it wasn't what they said, it was how fast they switched, like I interrupted a private moment. After that, Vanessa started texting Daniel directly. Not constantly, just enough to normalize it. At first, it was innocent, like, "Tell Rachel thanks again," or "Can you ask Rachel if she's free Friday?" Daniel would respond politely because that's who he is. But then the messages stopped including me. "Are you home? Can you send me the address again?" "I'm outside." And that word kept showing up in my head. Access. Not love, not romance, access. She was building a separate lane of closeness with him, and she was slowly pushing me out of the middle. Then came my birthday. Vanessa insisted on handling 2 dishes I specifically asked for. "I got you," she said. "I want to make it special." After the party, Daniel came to me upset. He said Vanessa told him she couldn't finalize costs because I kept changing my mind. I didn't change my mind once. So I went to Vanessa calmly and asked about it. And instead of explaining, she got offended, like I had insulted her. Then she said something that made my skin go cold. "I don't talk to people's husbands like that." I hadn't accused her of flirting. I asked about food. So why did she jump there? And then she said the line that ended my denial. "This is between her and him. It has nothing to do with you." Between her and my husband, my best friend looked me in the face and told me my marriage wasn't my business. That wasn't a misunderstanding. That was entitlement. After that, I started noticing things I couldn't unsee. The way she stood too close, the way she treated my home like it was her second living room, the way she acted comfortable crossing lines in front of other people because she believed I wouldn't stop her. And then came the moment that broke me. A friend's birthday dinner. We were taking photos. Vanessa asked me to take a picture of her and Daniel, and I still don't know why I said yes. Maybe I was trying to be graceful. Maybe I was trying to prove I wasn't insecure. Maybe I was trying to force normal. Vanessa wrapped her arm around his waist. Not casual, not quick, close. She didn't like the photo. Do another. Second photo, same grip. Again. Third photo, she adjusts, leans in more, squeezes tighter. One more. Like I was her personal photographer, like Daniel was her accessory. And something in me snapped, quietly. On the drive home, I asked Daniel why he didn't create distance, why he just stood there and let it happen again and again while I was behind the camera. He got defensive immediately. "What did you want me to do? Push her off? Make a scene?" And I said yes, because that's what protection looks like when someone is disrespecting your partner in public. He stared at me. Then he said something that hit me like a slap. "I never should have come." Not, "I'm sorry," not, "I see why that hurt you," just irritation, like I was the problem for noticing disrespect. That's when I cried. Not dramatic, just silent tears because I realized I wasn't only dealing with Vanessa, I was dealing with a husband who hated conflict more than he hated disrespect. That night, I texted Vanessa. I didn't accuse her of sleeping with him. I said one thing clearly. "I don't like the way you touch my husband, And if you can't respect boundaries, our friendship is over. She apologized, but it wasn't a real apology. That's just how I hug friends. Then she repeated the same weird line. I don't talk to people's husbands like that. Again, and it clicked. She kept defending herself against an accusation I hadn't made because she wasn't responding to what I said, she was responding to what she knew. So I asked her to meet face to face, and I came prepared, not with emotion, with clarity. I told her, stop calling him our husband. Don't come to my home without asking first. If I'm not home, leave. Don't text him, text me. Don't touch him. Don't hug him. You are not allowed to be alone with him. And if someone speaks badly about me in front of you, defend me or walk away. Every point was something that had already happened. Vanessa stared at me like I was insane. Then she did the thing that told me everything. She didn't say, you're right. She didn't say, I'm sorry. She didn't say, I can see how this looks. She said, I can't believe you think that about me. And she started crying. Not because she was hurt, because she was losing access. She swore on her kids she never said the line I heard with my own ears. This is between me and him. It has nothing to do with you. She swore she never said it, but I remember exactly how it felt when she said it. The calm, the entitlement, the certainty. And here's the part that haunted me. At no point, not once, did Vanessa say the one sentence innocent people say immediately. Nothing is going on. She never reassured me. She never stepped back. She argued wording. She argued intent. She argued how I took it. Because she wasn't trying to clear her name. She was trying to keep control. After that, I did something I never wanted to do. I blocked Vanessa on Daniel's phone. Calls, texts, social media, everything. When Daniel found out, I was taking it too far. He said it wasn't that deep. So I sat him down and walked him through every single pattern, calmly. And for the first time, he didn't skim. He actually read. He went quiet for a long time. Then he said something I'll never forget. From the outside, it looks like something is going on. He didn't confess, but he finally saw what I had been living inside. That was the first time I felt like I wasn't crazy. The friendship ended after that. We still worked together, so I tried to keep it civil. It lasted 2 weeks. Vanessa started telling mutual coworkers I was jealous and controlling, that I accused her of something horrible. And I realized she was doing what people do when they can't control you anymore. They try to control how others see you. But this time, I didn't chase the narrative. I didn't defend myself to everyone. I didn't explain. Because I had something more valuable than her opinion, my peace and my marriage. Daniel and I had hard conversations after that, real ones, about boundaries, about what protecting your partner actually looks like, about how being nice to everyone can become betrayal at home. And I retired that joke forever, because some people don't hear a joke. Some people hear a door opening, and the moment they step through it, it becomes your job to close it. So tell me the truth. If your best friend started acting like your husband was ours, would you cut her off immediately, or would you try to fix it first? Drop your verdict in the comments, and if you want more stories about betrayal, boundaries, and the moment the truth finally clicks, stick around. Like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to hear it today. Because here, one story always leads to another.